is our first time in this studio too, so
Is it really?
Yeah. It's pretty thrilling.
My God.
Conan just lifted my restraining order. So we're cool to be back,
That's
which is
so
nice.
kind of
Yeah.
him.
I know.
We had a
month
referral.
early.
Wow.
A month early.
Well,
Thank
you
God for Andy
must have been
Richter's
good
referral.
behavior.
Yeah, Andy put in 3 calls for his podcast.
It's like Soho House. Well, Adam.
Hello,
we're
Johnny.
back. New studio.
New studio.
Living our dreams over here. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling tired. I flew in and was shooting yesterday, and you know, I like that feeling. I love the feeling of like there's a car waiting for you early in the morning. And you get in the car and you're like, oh, I'm a spy. I'm going to the airport. And then you fly and you go to work. It's like, I get off on that.
No, that's the best. Like,
Yeah.
that is like, you know, you get to be like a prince for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It feels so good.
I love it.
And you also get like, you get to be like off duty on your other normal shit of like, sorry, can't shooting today. It's
Yes.
like the best.
The best feeling.
Like,
Yeah.
Like I guess I'll skip the gym and you know what I mean?
All
Whoops.
that stuff. Yeah. My kids, I don't talk to
Oh,
them.
yeah, I'm thinking more about like, like where you're like, you know, your wife's like, hey, can you? And I'm like, today I'm shooting. Bye.
Yeah.
And I only shoot once every 3 months. So
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, I'm leaving at 4 a.m. Won't be back till 11. This only happens once a year. I can't do anything. Don't call me. But we have one of my favorite people on the show today.
Oh, one of mine too. I'm going to pretend like I don't know who our guest is.
I love
I'm
that.
like,
when people
tell me more about it.
Yeah, I don't understand why the co-hosts do that with each other. It's like we were given an itinerary.
Yeah, we know who's on every episode when it starts. But I guess, as a matter of fact, the listeners know because it's listed,
clicked on it.
it's
They
listed
clicked
in
on
the
it.
title. Yeah.
But I guess it's time. I guess.
Or are
the
you
real-
guys watching this? Are you Gen Z and watching this? Or are you elder millennials and listening?
I guess the real reason to do intros is for us to tell the audience how we feel about the person before they hear them.
Yeah, you know what? People might also just be on like burning through episodes and not like looking when they click. So like,
Yeah, that's true.
Or we're popping up on Sirius.
Do you
or
think
something.
anyone listens to us at like 60 times fast? And it's just like,
If Paul Scheer ever listens to our podcast, it's at like 1.8%.
I know.
Yeah,
The
he's
amount
crazy.
that dude
I
takes in.
overheard his audiobook one time when we were working together and I almost barfed. The person was like, what? And he's just like,
some micro
sucking it in.
machine guy. Yeah.
He's like soaking up
Dominic,
there.
there's a priest in there, Dominic.
I hear $4, $3, $2, $2. An auction going down.
Yeah,
for
he's
some
like,
reason.
how did your audiobook recording go? Not good. I sold a watch. We have Jillian Bell today, which is a thrill. Probably one of our most talented guests.
So yeah, I mean, it's a
Multifaceted.
it's a real who's who, our guest list, and you know, we got a big one. You know,
Yeah, big fish,
and
a whale.
I can't wait to get into it with her and see what she's up to.
Yeah, and because she's funny and she's real and she's everything.
Yeah. Well, enough of this bullshit of us. Let's add Jillian. And of course, still do a ton of bullshit.
Yeah,
the two of
we
us.
won't let her
I'll
speak.
talk over her most of the
she's a
time.
woman.
She's here now. We're not letting her talk.
Oh, hey, Jill.
You know what I just remembered when you said Soho House was I'm not a member of Soho House. It's the opposite of who I am.
Yeah.
And I had to do we were doing a screening for the movie Rough Night there, and I like went in and I was like, I'm here for the screening. I'm in the cast, and they were like, we don't see you on the list.
Worst feeling ever.
And then they walked by with a cardboard cutout of the cast, and I was like, I'm that one.
Worst feeling.
And they were like, you still need to call someone. And I was like, I will never.
That happens to me. I have this energy. I like totally. I live that story. Like I have this energy that apologizes for my existence, like before I, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so there are countless premieres that I've been stopped at.
No.
Where they're like, oh, it happened to me yesterday. I was shooting yesterday and I pulled up and you see the yellow things, like the yellow sign.
With the arrow pointing.
Pointing this way.
I pull in and they're like, who are you? Basically, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, oh, I'm, and you don't want to be like, you know.
I'm a star.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm an actor. And they go,
this is a rental. I normally drive something baller.
yeah. I'm like, I'm an actor
Yeah.
in the production. And the guy's like, oh, well, yeah, well, then you got to park all the way down at the thing. And then I was like, well, now I'm in a predicament.
Because
like,
did
part
he think
of me,
you were background?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, like, part of me is like, I could really go through this. And, like, because I go to background parking and really, like, feel that. Because part of me wanted to do that.
Right,
Because I
you're
was
like,
I don't deserve
cannot.
it anyway. I don't deserve to have anyway. But then I did the opposite thing, and I went, "That's my trailer." And the guy was like, "Oh!" And then I was like, "Damn it! Like I'm now in it."
He's like, got you.
And I was like, "I don't want this energy." Like,
And then
that exact thing has happened to me on set for something. Like, someone's
What?
like, "Excuse me, can you get out of the chair?" Because we're trying, and I'm like, "Well, they said to get the host in the chair." They're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh my god, they think I'm a grip." Like, just because of my look, and I have like a backwards hat and shorts on, and I'm like, "Oh, I am the host of this show."
my
And the guy was like,
God.
"I am so sorry."
Yeah.
They're like, Grip, get out of the way.
Yeah, it's an
I'm
awful
like, "They told me to
feeling.
sit on the apple box." They're like, "Get the fuck out of here, you freak."
I have to tell you that. Oh, well, wait, do we have to start, or are we recording? Because we should be recording this.
We don't do
Oh,
any
yeah.
of that.
You don't record anything?
We don't
two
record
things-
anything.
There's a couple things we do that are different than podcasts.
Okay.
It's not
Great.
recorded.
It's not recorded.
So it's just for now.
Tomorrow we'll try to remember the conversation
Yeah,
and
talk
and
we'll
then
write it
we'll
as
like
pros.
have an actor come in to play me.
Yes. Yeah.
Ed Norton.
I was.
Odd choice. He's got range.
Edward Norton would be a great Jillian Bell.
That's good.
Have you seen Primal Fear?
That's your Jillian
That's
Bell.
the
Yeah.
Jillian Bell.
I didn't hurt them.
He's like, well, good for you, Marty. I've seen that movie too many times.
I love that movie.
You always get surprised at the end,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Holy
I'm like this,
shit, I did not see that
No, now
coming.
I do the dorky thing of making everyone I know watch it with me, and then I just stare at them while he's like starts the slow clap in
Yeah.
prison at the end.
I love that movie. I do think, and I hope you're not because you're a super fan, that I do think that Primal Fear is a shortcut to a good performance with the way they cut the double personality. Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean? There is like the trope of it in that movie heavy of like, I would like that. No, I won't.
yes,
And
yes.
it's like, it's like very easy.
It's like kind of when you get an award for more acting.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
when
It's like
you
he
watch
played
it
two
now,
parts.
It's like you're like, I get all right. Like, it
Well,
kind of doesn't.
Let me ask you
hit
this:
the same.
Who deserves an award more? Is it Edward Norton in that performance, or Lindsay Lohan in The Parent Trap playing two different people?
Honestly, Lindsay Lohan to me is a more comedic. I mean, that first of all, Lindsay Lohan, I'll go on record, is one of my favorite actresses.
I thought you were going to say, I would go on record that is a more comedic performance than Primal Fear.
No,
is.
Primal Fear is way funnier. No, I would never. I would
Shout
never.
out Lindsay Lohan. We went to the same school district. She's a Calhoun grad.
I think
Yeah.
Lohan, honestly,
Long Island
I think Lohan,
princess.
Lohan got a bad rap. Lohan got a bad rap and got mixed up.
She's back.
She's back, and she
She deserves
now. She's gonna have a huge comeback, like
Yes.
Academy Award winning.
You think?
100%.
Assuming the entertainment industry
Yes.
comes back, she'll be a
Yeah,
major
if they
part
start
of it.
making movies again, yeah.
If we're able to ever be on a set again
Yeah.
and be confused for background.
I was told yesterday we
Fingers
won't be.
crossed.
I was told yesterday there will be. No more.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
but-
did you just get fired then?
No. They said today is the last day of the industry.
Of the industry.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
a Jimmy John's
It
commercial.
was right after I read. It was right after I auditioned. They said, "You know what? We're shutting down Hollywood."
Yeah.
I have to tell you this real quick. So my friend Vanessa was on Blue Bloods, the show Blue Bloods.
Oh, no,
so
wow.
she is very good friends with Donnie Wahlberg. Now, my number one crush from when I was a kid was Donnie Wahlberg. I love New Kids on
Mine
the
too.
Block.
My
He,
first concert.
burnt down a hotel room. He was the bad boy. I was very into him and New Kids on the Block. She was like, I'm going to be in a New Kids on the Block video. Come and we'll see if we can get you in. And I was like, I've never been more there. I'm there.
This already has inherent, like, the whole, we'll try to get you in. I'm
Yes.
having flashbacks
That
in 20.
feeling, yeah.
We'll get you into the club, don't worry. And then
Yes.
also, as you get older, like, no, you'll be my +1 to the premiere. It's no problem.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that
for some
feeling
reason-
makes me like. Ugh.
Yes, I was blinded to the fact of what was about to happen. Like, I was
yeah.
like, oh, it's going to be cool. Maybe she'll, like, drop a credit. And they'll be like, keep in it. No. No credits were dropped. I literally was sitting there just watching the New Kids on the Block like get in hair and makeup for their thing, and I was just sitting on a couch petting a dog. There was a dog there,
Right? Because you're like, this feels like a norm. This feels normal.
Yes.
I know how to do this.
Yeah, I know
in
how
this weird thing, in this weird moment.
Right, I'm just
you're
gonna
just
rub
like
a dog's
reaching for
belly.
any humanity.
I'm always like in those moments. I'm always like looking for a cup or something. I'm
there's
always
a cup.
I'm like, good.
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
Good.
Or
good.
like-
I know how to. And then I'm like,
That's why I've like at like a premiere party, I'll piss like 40 times
Oh, yeah.
because I've had like 100 beverages because I'm like, well, no one's talking to me.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I gotta get another one. Shake it up a little. I haven't spoken. I'm in this circle for 8 minutes. I haven't spoken. Maybe it's time to. Well, good luck, everyone. They're like, who the fuck
if
was that?
anyone runs into me on like an award weekend in Hollywood where I am nothing to do with it, but I'm at that party,
Yeah.
I'm fucked up because I am so nervous. I don't feel like I should be there, but everyone's like, no, you go to the night before thing. And I'm like, really? I haven't worked in 4 years. They're like, no, you go. You go.
Everyone goes.
You got to show me
You'll
your
have tons
live.
of friends there.
Yeah,
You're
it's like, you really? I have tons of friends there?
my
And they're like, yeah, they're all working.
They're all there.
And you're
Quinta
like,
Brunson won't look at me.
like, you show up and then you just drink because you're like, oh my God,
Yeah,
this is
because you're
something I
so
know how
nervous.
to do. I know how to do
and
this.
you look over to the right, and Nicole Kidman is floating by.
Yeah.
She has some kind of rollerblades that are
Yes.
keeping
Yeah.
under her gown that
And
make
you-
her just
it's
float.
the worst feeling. And you're like,
Yes.
I'm part of it, but I'm not part
Yes.
of it. You know?
Yes.
And I always
And you
feel like
almost
that.
want to get ahead of it, like even in the, you're like, I know I'm like just hanging out here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't worry, I'm not being
don't
presumptive
worry.
at all.
I
Yeah.
don't think I'm going to be the star of this music video. Well, turns out at one point they were like, we need more people. You and you, can you come? And I was like, what? And they were like, here, we'll give you a costume. And then the costume was like throwing on a leather vest or something. And I was like, what am I wearing? And it was like a 1980s, like a tribute to the 80s and how much they love the 80s. And so it was like all these different like bad, like Michael Jackson music videos. So I was in the background of that, and they go, okay, background. And they're shoving me in. And I was like looking around the room, and they're like, and now everyone just, pretend you have a knife and dance around. And I was in the back going, oh my God, I don't know what to do right now. I don't think I'm better than anyone, but I obviously, like, if someone watches this music video, they're gonna be like, is that
Jillian?
my friend Jillian? Like,
That's where you
why
go,
is she
like,
in the back?
I'll do anything in the music video. I'll be an extra.
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. And you're like, wait, what?
Wait.
Actually, I was hoping to get paid.
Well, also, like,
Day
the
rate.
guy was like, the first AD was like manhandling and like pushing my shoulder. And I was like,
is-
everyone should be lovelier to background people.
It is always humbling the way background is treated so awfully.
It's terrible.
And you're
Especially around Joey McIntyre.
yeah.
No,
It's
no,
like
they
start-
were all so sweet. They weren't even there for that part.
Well,
so it was like, once they get there,
Take it easy.
You're not even on set with them.
they're not there yet. It's like they're teaching us what to do before the real
Right,
stars
yeah.
come in.
And they're still being, and there's the AD is like still being like, hey, what's wrong with you? You never walked before? You know, and you're
It's
like,
always that way.
Yeah,
It's
they're
always that
always-
way.
Christ, can we get
What?
someone that moves normal
Yeah,
over here?
it's like, hey, tooth man, the guy with the tooth, and everyone's like,
Am I the guy with the
tooth man?
No,
And
I'm
like-
always the guy with the tooth.
oh,
I'm
always.
like, why?
And then you stand up, like, no, you're the hat man, tooth man.
I was in a scene once where I had like a lot of dialogue, but there was a background artist next to me, and he just goes, I'm going to say something in the next take.
Oh God.
And I was like, and I couldn't concentrate. So I kept flubbing because I was like, when's he going to pipe in? Because he'd be like he was waiting.
Oh my God, it's horrible. That's
That's
horrible
like-
feeling, and you know
That's
it
the
as
one thing you're
actor,
not
like-
allowed to do.
You're like, I could get fired so easily.
I know.
Like, because I always carry that energy on set. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's just like, I want to be
Oh,
good.
good light energy.
Yeah, well, because
you
you
can
know,
fire
you're
me
like,
at any moment. I know that.
I know you're thinking
Howard,
of
I know
firing me.
you off.
I know you have power.
I'm good on a set though, but everyone likes working with me. But you know, you feel that, like, especially early on, you're like,
Yeah.
this could go a million ways,
Yes.
you know? And the last thing that you ever want is someone else's energy of their feeling like that. You know, and it's inevitable that when you get into those conversations, like it's going to happen. And I remember we were shooting a party scene on the Steph Curry show, and it was like Stefan's first big scene, and we were like at a club, and Ego and I would like do the scene and then just like shut down, you know, like brain dead. And he was like weirded out a little because we
Yeah.
were just like going to our phones because when you're in a scene like that, there's so many people, everyone's trying to make eye contact.
Energy vampires.
Yes, everyone's trying to make eye contact, and they're trying to have a moment.
Yes.
You know, to be like, yeah, and it's totally valid. They're part of the show, and but it's like crazy to suck that energy. And Stefan is so nice and so
just looking
earnest,
at everyone,
talking to everyone, and then I could see like it started to pile up and pile up and pile up, and between takes there were like it was like lines of people waiting,
and he probably was exhausted after an hour and a half.
Couldn't even the scene. We had to like cut the scene down because it was just too much, and it was like
sweetheart.
Yeah, and
that's very sweet though.
It was so sweet, but then I had to be like, hey man, tomorrow don't talk to anybody.
yeah.
Like just you see how I go dead. Like you see how I'm dead behind the eyes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you were wondering like, what's going on with Adam?
Right.
You got to do that tomorrow.
You got to do that.
Like you got to just like ego, like you got to just like pipe down, and he could not do it. Like I was like,
too genuine, too sweet, too real,
too real.
That's very sweet.
So can we find this?
No, I'm not in it. I got pulled out. Me and like a couple others. They were like, actually, we don't need you, and I was like, thank God.
That sounds like a lie for.
Thank God.
That sounds like a cover. We got to find Jillian.
No, I wish I was in it now because honestly, at that point,
it's just
I was like,
just a leather vest, and it's like really heavy.
I was like, just go for
Were
it.
you dancing?
Yeah, it was like in the background,
with
like it's supposed to be like with a knife or being like, yeah, like while they're fighting.
Awesome.
And then they cut me out, and I was like, it was such a funny situation that I walked away from.
What I loved about New Kids so much was their working class pop stardom. You know, like they really were.
Like we're just bros.
Yeah,
we happen to be
this, like,
sex
whitey,
symbols.
bolster
Yeah, they're
Boston
Boston
accents.
guys.
But they would be up there like really boy banding, you know, like with like insane choreography and stuff. And then it would be done. They'd be like, thanks, yeah.
Well, I'd be
like, yeah, it was pretty good up there.
I pretended to like them.
Like, yeah, we were wicked off by a couple measures.
Yeah.
You're like,
I pretended to like them to talk to girls at school. Same thing with like 90210. Like I watched every episode, but then eventually with both of them, I got really into them. Like I was like, I can watch this and I can talk to Trisha at school. Then I watch it. I'm like, man, this Dylan character is troubled. You know, like they do have the right stuff.
When 902 first started, that year when the kid killed himself was like horrible.
Yeah,
that
my God.
played with a gun
went through my school when he played with a gun.
Oh yeah, we played with a gun.
Yeah, he's like, look at me. And
he's like, yeah, we are remembering this wrong, but I love it. He was like, look at my dad's gun.
And he said something about Jews, right? He was like,
I was gonna say, like, when I was, researching your show and what it was about, I was like, oh, that's so interesting that like everyone I know watches like Baby Reindeer to go to sleep.
I know.
Where did we leave off? Oh, during the rape. And you're like, well, okay, so we'll fast forward. We'll rewind a little bit.
Law and Order household?
I'm a Dateline household.
Dateline household. So that's
even scarier.
That's even scary because that feels real to me. Like
that feels real.
I fall asleep.
It's so comforting.
I fall asleep to like the dun. And like, like that sound is now Pavlovian to me because my wife is just. I've seen every single Law and Order.
I keep a 8x10 of Jerry Orbach, and when I need Adam to fall asleep, real quick, I just hold it up, and he's like,
"Well, I do have his eye."
So, Jillian Bell.
Yes.
What do you do to stay alive? Laughing like a person who maybe has a long list of things?
Yeah. It's funny because I am not doing well, I will say.
Really?
I don't,
You look great.
Thank you
Welcome
so
to the perfect podcast
much.
floor. I have big plans.
Thank
you.
I mean, also look at us.
We're somehow two before pictures.
I think everyone's. I just keep saying every day, everyone's doing the goddamn best they can.
I know when people are like, "How you doing?" It almost feels like if
we can't say good anymore.
No,
right?
if you go like, "I'm great," people are like, "What the? You win the lottery?"
Yeah.
Like,
what happened?
Have you looked up?
I've had like 6 interactions where I said, I just got a lot of shit going on. And they were like, me too. And we were like, okay.
Like we're not going to talk about that.
I don't want to pile it on you. You don't want to pile it on me.
Hanging in because I feel like hanging in gives the other person. It's like a volley back. You know, it's like I'm hanging in.
Yeah.
Things are up and down.
That's better than what I say. Do you want to ask me how I'm doing?
Sure. How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hand the coffee to him.
Hand
keep
it
walking.
right back. Yeah. do you catch yourself ever like saying the wrong thing to the response and then hoping that they don't notice? Like where they're
Yeah,
like,
well, honestly,
you're like,
it's
how are you
like-
doing? And you're like, smart or something. You're like, whoops. Yeah.
I'm more the person that will like be honest and then see the life like pour out of their skin.
I've had to
and I'm
adjust
like,
that.
I mean, but the new season of Traitors was great.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, are you okay? And I'm like, no.
There isn't an element amongst my friend group where we just stand around and go, "Did you see Black Bag yet?" And it's like, "Yes, I did." And we're like, just have like the safest conversation
Yes, I
possible.
saw Black Bag.
No one going interior whatsoever. It's like, I like films, and it's like, me too. Soderbergh is great.
That-
Yeah, I liked it more than Presents. And everyone's got like nosebleeds and
Yeah.
casts and crutches and shit. And no one will talk about what's
It's
going
like
on.
that's like improv team before you start warming up before your show. It's always like conversation, safe conversation.
Right, you don't know,
you
So
don't
that
wanna-
you can stay in a good headspace.
Yeah. So it's like you
that's
find
so
a common
funny.
Shut my
thing
dick
that
in a
you
car
both
door
hate,
again,
You know,
yeah.
it's like
We'll have like a couple people over for dinner and just be talking, and then everyone's like, yeah, well, and then I'm like, oh, we're going to get into the heavy stuff. So I'm like, if you could have another name, what would it be?
yeah, you don't.
If you could rename yourself, what would
You
it
don't
be?
like it. You don't like it. You don't like getting into it.
I hate it. I hate it.
Well, too
When a
bad. That's the
friend-
purpose of this
when a
podcast. Tell
friend-
us what's wrong with your life.
When a friend
we
texts-
leave. Just talking to the mic about.
No, seriously, I don't even notice because I'm just like, yeah, well, just like a Johnny Cash, like a long time ago.
We don't do intros, so this one would be like a special episode today.
On a special episode.
Honestly, a little odd. But
But what are you doing
Yeah,
anything to
'cause I was gonna
push
say-
back the
Yes,
we both
I
have-
am.
yeah.
I
we both do so much.
have a therapist.
Good.
I have a psychiatrist
Good.
now.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I'm on anti-anxiety medication.
Hell yeah.
I'm on Chinese herbs.
Hell yeah, the best kind.
What
I have it in the car. I don't know.
But what's it like? Did you get it in Studio City at that place next to
I
Jones?
ordered it. I ordered it online.
Oh wow, you're in deep.
Pre-tariffs.
Yeah, post Terry.
It's worth it. Rockefeller over here.
Hey.
That's your X1 movie.
I get Chinese herbs and Venezuelan crude oil.
For about half an hour a day, I lay on a blanket outside in the lawn
Really?
and get sun.
That's really
Hell
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like a meditation too? Do you like? Are your
No,
phones
I
with
think
you?
I'm screaming in my brain.
Yeah, your
but
phone's with you. You're
But it
scrolling.
is like that is like a powerful thing for the non-meditators. Just like
Yes.
it's crazy that you don't really sit still for 30 minutes and like in life without like a device or some
Right,
sort.
something.
So it's like that's a powerful move.
Yeah,
And-
just being
and it's
like,
more
I'm gonna lay in
difficult than, like, it's crazy to imagine how difficult just laying down for 30 minutes
Yeah.
when you're supposed to be awake and doing stuff. is.
Yes.
Like yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I could be doing work right now.
Yeah.
But instead, sun.
Yeah.
But
Shine your
It's like
light
trying
on
to
me.
read a book where you're like, I can't believe I fucking read for 20 minutes.
I
today.
know.
I'm a fucking academic.
And I
I'm a
twitch for
guy.
my phone. I twitch for my phone like crazy. Like I
know.
hate the like dopamine call to it that where you're like doing something total like you could be exercising.
Yeah.
And listening to music and all of a sudden you'll be like, I should check my phone.
Yeah.
You know, and that I
Yeah.
don't know how it's so pervasive.
I know.
You know,
I wonder
and-
what all those busty ladies on my For You page are up to right now.
I wonder if they're working out too.
Let's see.
And then I just somewhere out there.
Rain on the
Rain hits.
Beneath
I think of myself as like a
the
5-hole
Oh, I
who's
think we
going
all
west.
do.
Who's going west looking for busty.
There are no jobs in America.
You're one of my favorite comedic actor. I
Oh
don't
my
even know
God,
what,
that's so nice.
what we call each other anymore because
That's-
like
I know.
like we're just like funny people. You're one of my favorite
Content
Clowns.
Clowns. You're
I'm
one of my
favorite.
favorite.
Thank you.
You're
One of my favorite
sad-
clowns.
sad
You,
clowns.
then
Sad
Felipe,
clown.
the
But
French guy.
you did the. I feel like you did the thing this year that you did the thing that we all want to do, which is be like, I'm gonna be the head clown.
Yes.
You know what I
Top
mean?
clown.
Top clown.
This is top clown, not top scallop.
Did that change in what you were doing to stay alive? Because
that was the healthiest I've ever been. Was directing that movie. I actually got sick twice during like prep and then actual production, but I was the happiest I've ever been. It was the most creatively fulfilling and stressful and beautiful things I've ever been able to be a part of.
Really?
I loved
awesome.
it.
That's so nice to hear, because I feel like one of my I want to do it so bad, and like everyone's always like,
do it.
I'm gonna do it eventually once I like stop drinking. But no. I'm gonna do it. But I it's such a huge imposition in your mind, especially when you've worked on sets like, you know, big and small for so long as you have. I mean, your career is like immense with stuff. It feels so daunting to be like, I'm gonna do tip to tails on everything in a project, and then also not eat everything and drink everything and die.
Yeah.
That seems so daunting.
Well, I will say that, because I like being honest, that while I was doing it, I was also on Zepbound. Do you guys know Zepbound?
Yeah, familiar. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's very helpful. They're finding it's like
I'm on
helping
Manjaro,
people
baby.
with. You're on Manjaro?
Yeah, I started
It's
because of
very-
this podcast.
It's very helpful with like any like addictions. So like repetitive thoughts or any.
I'm not having that as much.
You're not?
I'm drinking right through it.
Well, you're just
Really?
getting started, right?
I'm as fresh in as when the guy was on.
Yeah. Okay.
How long has that been?
Well, for the
Two
listeners,
2.5 weeks.
8 weeks. For us, like 2 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Okay.
2.5 weeks.
All right.
But you like it.
But I liked it, and honestly, it just kind of like, I don't know, it helped with my concentration, and it just made me feel like
Wow.
I wasn't as obsessed with food. I've had a lot of food obsession over my whole life, and so that was the only thing different during that time that I was doing that I'm not doing now. But I just felt like being on a set where you're like, they ask you 1,000 questions a day, and 80% you don't know the answer to, and you're like, just pick red or blue, like,
Right.
or what do you think to the person that you hired, because that's their job and they're really excited and passionate about it,
Right.
and trust them.
Right.
But I don't love acting. Like, I like it when I get into it and I'm like, okay, I've nailed about 5 days of work and I didn't fail.
Right.
But my anxiety is very high. I'm like
Yeah.
a highly functioning anxious person. So directing felt like, okay, I'm stepping back. I've got a lot more responsibility, but for some reason it feels less scary to me than being an actor on a set.
Because you're like in control.
I guess so.
Because you feel like you're getting into the car and you can control the mirrors and the volume, and you're not like
Exactly.
along for the ride.
Which is a great analogy because I do not drive anymore.
You stopped driving?
Yes, I stopped driving like 3 years ago.
Wow.
I had a panic attack on the freeway.
Whoa.
And all
While
of a
you were
sudden,
driving?
yes.
And so you pulled
And I
over?
was like, I don't know how this works. Like, you're
wow.
going like 75 miles per hour, and all of a sudden I was headed towards Palm Springs, and I got off the road, and then I was like, I don't know how to drive a car. Like, it just freaked me out. And I could drive a car. I think I was just very anxious. So I got to like a DoubleTree Inn and stayed the night there. And then my sister came out and with her husband, and they drove me back. But like, I've tried driving. It's very hard for me. It's like, you guys, I'm a crazier person than you thought, right?
No,
You're like staying
100%.
alive.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm very happy to hear it.
Excuse me for looking at you like Walton Goggins in that monologue.
In
I was
the monologue, I was like, I know.
Mostly I was thinking just the whole time, I'm like, well, why don't you live in New York?
I know. I do love New York, and I lived there before. I wrote for SNL for
Yeah.
like a year, and I was like, oh, I enjoy this.
I live there, and like, it's if you don't like driving,
I know.
like,
I know.
It's great.
It's hard because all of my family's out here. So
Are you California born and bred?
No, Las Vegas.
Awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love
That's
Las
where you were
Vegas.
born
Yes.
and where we will die.
I love Las Vegas. So
Yeah, we're
much.
obsessed.
Yeah.
It's- Are you? I feel like a lot of people that are from Las Vegas are kind of like, yeah.
I have love for it.
Okay.
There's certain things that were like I don't appreciate as much as other people because it was just so much in Vegas. Like Elvis was lost on me because it was just all Elvis impersonators growing up, and I was like, oh, it's like Mickey Mouse.
What a weird fucking city. Like, we were obsessed with Elvis for about 7 decades.
Yeah, exactly.
His like legacy outlived him. Like no one's even playing his music. It's just about like looking like him.
Elvis, I feel like that's what Toronto is going to be with Drake. You know what I mean? Because like Elvis wasn't even the best like entertainer. Like there was like Johnny Cash at the time, and like, you know what I mean, music that lives on like really heavily.
Wait a minute, I have to go back to this driving thing. You were driving pretty frequently before this, and it just
all the time.
And there is something crazy about driving where if you really start to think, like, you're on the highway, you're like, I don't know who any of these assholes are.
Yeah.
And they're all driving 70 miles an hour in like 6-ton death machines.
And we're all this far apart from each other, trusting.
And I'm fully trusting all these people. Like,
I know if I talk about it enough with you, you will stop driving. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't want to get into it too much.
No, I mean,
I came from New York to here.
Yeah, you never liked driving.
So I was never a big fan. And now I've come around to it because it's like, this is easier than anything else. But
we drive when we're on the road. When we're on the road together, I do most of the driving.
Oh yeah, well, you like driving. Yeah. You drive in New York City, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
He drives like a family-sized car in New York City.
I whip it around the city. Yeah. I just always drove in the city, and like, I like driving.
Yeah,
it's like. I also, when my kids get out of the car, it's the greatest feeling because you're like,
when they leave.
Yes. No, you heard me right.
It was so nice to drive with you, but I can't wait for you to get out.
Get out.
No, it's just like it's a similar feeling to what you were saying about work, because it's like you wake up in the morning and you feed them, and it's so early and it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And you get them dressed and you make sure they have all their stuff. And then you take them to school, and they get out, and they like wave at you, and they walk into school, and you feel like, I did it.
I did it.
You look at the clock, and you're like, oh shit, 2:30 is not for like 5 hours.
Exactly. And you're like, oh my God, I did it. Like, I did a great job today.
Oh my
God.
God.
And like,
you made a movie about marathons?
Yes.
I love that movie.
I love that movie. And as a person who has a very complicated relationship with running and has completed a couple of half marathons.
Congratulations.
Did you take any love of it away from the picture?
I did love running while I was training for it. Like, I was like, okay, I hated it at first, and then I figured it out. It's a head game. You're just like having to be like, okay, I'll stop once I get to that point. You know what? I've gotten to that point. I think I'm going to keep going.
It's so fucking crazy. Yeah. Like when someone says like, oh man, I feel great after a run, and you're like, I cannot wrap my head around it. Yeah. And then you run for like 3 weeks, and you're like, I feel great after a run. Really I'm one of these assholes. Yeah. I can't believe I become. And then I feel like running has that steepest, like, if you go from couch to 5K or whatever, when you go from 0, all of a sudden you're like, well, I can run a half mile now. I'm like, hey, maybe tomorrow I could do 3/4 mile. And you really can. Yes. And there's like a steep increase. And then you're like, oh, I ran 6 miles this week. I mean, and if you're training for a marathon, you got to run like a 20-mile weekend or something like that.
Insane.
Yeah. And I was getting up to the point where I ran a half marathon. I was like, I never could have pictured. I get exhausted driving 13.1 miles.
I have to say, the people that do that, the full marathons, they're superhumans. Like, I can't believe it. We went and we shot at the actual New York City Marathon.
Awesome.
Isn't it kind of fucking thrilling too, in a weird way?
It is a high that you cannot. Like, it's religious almost. Like, I'm like, what is this? Everybody's ready to do something
getting those
that
silver
is a
capes.
Big challenge, and they're
silver
like
capes everywhere.
They're like, I hope I can do it, and here we go. And we had to do the opening of the race like 3 times because there's a bunch of different times that people are starting and different groups, and every time I was just like, this is the most exciting thing, and they're blasting New York, and
what a fun way to like get some of the juice without having to do another 25.9 miles.
I know. Well, the sweetest thing too was we did the finish line like 4 times. Every single time, at some point from where I started through the finish line, someone helped me.
Really?
Because they thought I was struggling
because of the scene.
Yes,
that's so
they had
nice.
to cut together. Okay, the first take of this one, no one was helping her. The second take in the middle, no one was helping her.
But it's like a different.
But someone was always like, "You got this," and they're like helping you.
I got in trouble for that on the subway. I was helping too much.
I saw she had a tinfoil blanket on, so I started massaging her calves.
I was just trying to help.
That's so awesome. Now, do you like run now and like? think, or is it no?
No. I like to swim. That's like my happy place.
Oh, I'm a
Oh,
swimmer
that's
too.
awesome.
I just swam yesterday at the. Well, I'm gonna gatekeep my pool. But I'll
okay.
tell you
Don't
off.
tell
Yeah,
everyone.
LA is really.
I don't need any of these fucking
We
bear
find out
chasers.
later it's just your own pool.
Yeah,
We're
it's
like,
my house.
well,
Is that your house?
You could say,
wait, when are you coming over?
What did you do?
It's the reservoir.
The LA River, if you swim with the current, you can get done
Yeah, you
fast
can
before
get
the
there.
cops can get to you. You just got to watch out for the shopping carts that are randomly in there.
And the floating poop.
Oh, well, that is part.
Yeah.
I'm adding to that.
Yeah.
We call those river
You're like,
eels.
that's all me, baby.
You can tell they have his name on them.
My shit doesn't float, unfortunately.
Mr. Floating Poop.
I got to figure out my diet. My shit goes
It
right
just
to the
goes
bottom,
down.
and I hear a clang. I think I'm having too much beef. Sounds like an anchor rattling.
Yeah.
It eventually drags me to a stop.
Well,
My
sometimes
gosh.
it's the teeth, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, passing my vestigial twin again. Again. Stop eating them.
I can't.
I ate him in the womb. I'm going to do it again.
Oh my God.
What the fuck am I talking about?
What's happening?
Welcome to a podcast. This is a wellness podcast.
Yeah. Honestly, I was fine like 3 months ago. I was like doing well.
What happened?
I had to have a fibroid removed from my uterus because I was like, oh, we're going to start to have kids, me and my guy.
Congrats.
Thank you. And then once they were prepping for the procedure, they put me on birth control. It was the first time I've ever been on it at 40.
And it does kind of.
And it fucked me up.
Yeah.
And then the second they were done with that, they put me on the highest dose of estrogen to heal my lining. And it continued to mess me up.
Yeah.
So you're like
So
just
I've
regulating.
been 3 months with my mind crazy because they just are like, here's the dose, take it, lady. And you're like, every woman is different. And I think it's terrible that we don't talk about this and that women are suffering so much because they just have like, here's the 3 options and then they throw them at you. And it has changed my whole mental game.
IVF fucks you up too.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy. Like everyone I know who's done that shit is just like and it seems like even like that industry, which you would think would be a little like female friendly or
No.
woman forward, they're just like,
Not at all.
All right, shoot this up. We'll mail you more. You shoot it up, and then like the women are like, I'm going fucking ape shit
Yes.
from this. I feel
and then
crazy.
the second I was done, my doctor was like, okay, go have a kid.
Yeah, like
And
it's
I was
nothing.
like, I'm mentally unwell right now.
Yeah.
You've made me crazy.
Well, then you're just like every mother in America.
Ready to have a child.
You're ready to have a child.
well,
No,
that's
I-
okay. You just pass it on to that kid.
Yeah, don't worry, they'll take your trauma. But like, I also think perimenopause is something that's not talked about,
Not
and
at
is
all.
also a hormonal roller coaster that like can
Yes.
fuck you up. If men went through perimenopause,
there would be
like
so much research and
Yeah.
medicine and the right dosage of everything for you to be able to get through because women are like 40s they're just like good luck.
It feels
here's
like-
what we
We
have.
actually don't
Yeah.
have any research on women over 40. We stopped thinking
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
that
we're like
right at 39.
when their faces start sticking, we don't care
yeah,
as
the
much.
doctors are like, oh, 40, you're supposed to get a new one.
It's like a lease every 4 years.
Yeah, it's like a
you
car.
You don't want to do 10,000 miles with
Donnie
this one.
Wahlberg ain't never been with a lady over 35. Right, Joey? That's wicked correct, sir. We're hanging tough.
It's so cool that New Kids on the Block could be here for this interview.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, for the
I'm
listeners,
Donnie.
they
I'm
all are
Joey.
here. They came with Jillian. They carried her in
Yeah.
on some kind of pagoda, and then
Say hello, everybody.
I'm Danny.
Hello, hello, hello.
OEO.
Hello,
Oh my God. Come to think of it, their choreography was not that great. It was like,
Look back. Look back. I'm actually going to show you a video of Jordan Knight performing
Jordan
his
Knight,
one.
no.
Jordan Knight, you
Knight's
got
one
protective
song.
of.
Jordan Knight's one song
Don't
was a
you
banger.
fucking talk
Wait,
about
I was listening to that the other day, and
a
I
banger.
actually said it's like a thing to do. This is how much I'm working on my wellness right
Yeah,
now. I need
good.
you to know. This is so funny that this came up. I was like, I'm going to learn the dance from that.
From that single?
Yes. I'm gonna learn
Remind
the
me how it
dance where
goes.
he's like, baby, you know I can give it
It's
to
you.
you.
Right, yeah.
But it's like they're at a fair and it's a fun dance break, and I want to learn it.
It came out like after.
That's how much I'm working on my wellness. Is I want to watch a 1999
and you know, like
music video.
Those videos when you go back and watch those videos.
Do you guys have hobbies?
I'm on anti-anxiety meds and I'm learning choreography. It's like, oh well, hey, vaya con Dios.
But by the way, to be fair to myself, because I'm just paying myself to be a crazy person.
No,
I'm writing 4 different projects right now.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
No, I'm saying I shouldn't. No, I'm not saying that as a brag. I'm saying like my brain works in weird ways where like I can be creative.
But that is the artist. But
then the other side of me is learning Jordan Knights.
Yes, but that's just good for you.
You
said you guys have hobbies, and that's a real thing. I think like especially because we've monetized all our hobbies. Like me and Adam love talking about wellness. Now I love doing comedy. Now I'm begging for people to pay me to do it. Like all these hobbies eventually become jobs, and then you're like,
I know, but then you're like, I need my
new hobby.
Yes.
Yeah,
I need to learn Jordan Knight's choreography.
I had a guy make me feel like shit because he was like, "What hobbies do you have?" And I was like, "I like being in the pool and tarot cards." And they were like, he goes, "Yeah, but do you enjoy skiing? Do you run? Do you like climbing mountains? Do you enjoy?" And I was like, "What? No.
Yeah.
No. None of them."
Who are you talking to? Ethan Hunt?
I'm trying to learn Spanish for like the same reason of like something that isn't work related, something that I think would be good for my brain as I get older. And so that's like what I've been doing with my time.
Padre nuestros que estás en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre.
Más despacio, por favor. Estoy
that's
aprendiendo.
A little bit of the Our Father because I grew up Catholic.
Yeah. No, I felt my skin crawl.
Yeah. You're like, what's happening?
I was like, what the
What's
hell?
happening?
Oh, and then I realized, there's a Catholic in the room. Another one.
Hey, if you're Catholic, you're lapsed. Trust me.
If you're not
lapsed, you are not sitting in a comedy room.
Then you're Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
you're Mark Wahlberg.
You have fucking ash on your forehead, or
he has an altar in his house, correct?
Oh, yeah, he's got an app.
By the way, and we should say thank you to Hallow for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you to the Hallow
Use
app.
promo code Staying Alive to get 3 free prayers.
Yeah.
Big ups.
The Hallow app, it's a wicked cool app. It's it lets you stay prayed up no matter where you are in the world.
You can stay prayed up. You can wear your municipal hat, your municipal shoes.
It lets you get municipal products anywhere you go, no matter where you are.
Christ,
whether you be in Sydney, Australia, or Las Vegas, Nevada. No matter where you are, you can always get yourself prayed up, and that is difficult for a lot of people.
Say hello to Jesus for me.
Say hello to Jesus when you get there.
Good impression.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm also opening a series of gyms that double as churches, where you can work out for Jesus.
You've done both Wahlburgers on both Wahlburgers.
Wait till I get the third one. The third one, a little deeper. You gotta flip it. Flip that burger. Wait till I'm gonna do all 3 talking to each other.
Go ahead.
This is your one-man show.
Theater of the radio, real audio theater. Hey, everybody, I'm thinking about having a family trip where everybody gets on my private jet and we go down to the Galapagos.
Okay.
I can't do that. I'm filming my Blue Blood spinoff. I can find the time. The burger shop closed down.
Your impression of it is just, I could find the time.
For the burger guy, he can find the time.
I'm available.
He's the least, I tech avail. I just got to check if I can get off from the burger shop that I run.
Your Donnie Wahlberg is just like, 6th Sense.
I'm the weird guy from the beginning of 6th Sense.
My Donnie Wahlberg president says, here we go. I'm going to have to list all my fucking wicked credits. Here we go. 6th Sense. Blue Bloods.
No, there's more. Dead Silence.
Wow, that's the main review of this podcast.
Just this episode. They were like, don't have a sick woman be on the podcast.
I love that.
The only way, I can't dance. The only thing about me is the way I learned to dance.
I just love imagining that your next guest is Gwyneth Paltrow and she has real tips for people to live to 110. And I'm like this. I'm learning the hula hoop while I'm taking Lexapro.
I lay in the yard face down 1 hour a day.
I was going to say you're one of our most I think you're one of our most together guests.
Really?
Yes, because a lot of times when we pose the question of what are you doing to stay alive, they will throw so much at you that you're like, we're not doing well, huh? You know, like you can tell. You feel like you're like, I'm actually like
working
right in the moment, present, and I'm going through it. And it's like
I'm going through it,
that
and
feels way more earnest.
Being aware of it and being honest about it is actually helping, because I'm just like, if I'm listening to this podcast, I'm sure it's because you're like, I want tips, like, and I want to have a good time, like I want to laugh.
We
but
try
I also
not to be
want
prescriptive because like we don't do any of this stuff.
Yeah, and I don't need a lawsuit of like, I tried learning the Jordan Knight choreography and I'm still suicidal. And you're like, sorry.
Yeah.
We can't.
but I truly do think like, I'm like, it helps me when someone else is like, I'm in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in it right now.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm fucking. I can't even talk about it on mic. I'm so in it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in it. I just turned the age that my grandfather was when he died of a heart attack.
Oh, honey.
And my mother died like very, very young. And so I feel,
you feel
the
that's
borrowed
approaching.
time
the borrowed time. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, I don't feel like I feel good and healthy and I've gone to the doctor. Like I feel good.
You can get a movie greenlit.
I can get a movie greenlit whenever I want.
Sure.
So obvious. If anyone's looking at movie posters,
I'm here for fun.
Yeah.
When I walked down the AMC, I'm like, this guy's got so many movies greenlit.
Take a left on like after you get off Crescent Heights on Sunset. You'll see me everywhere.
All the billboards.
No, I feel like, and I'm having a lot of obsession about death. Like, a lot of my thoughts are like, how many summers do I have left? How many times will I eat at this restaurant again? Like, is this the last time I'll be here?
Gosh.
And
you're like lightly, forgive me for chiming in here, but you're like lightly predisposed to that already. Like that's always been a kind of thing. But then now with, the age we're at and what we're going through, it's like, it's getting a little, it's coming, it's going from the back burner
to the
Have you done
CBT?
What's that?
Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Oh, I thought it was cockball torture. Do not search it online.
Have you done cockball torture?
I've done,
It'll help.
Do not search CBT.
Wait, you have a cock and balls, right?
I torture
Oh,
them
then
too.
why don't you torture them?
No, I'm torturing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they torture me.
Cognitive behavioral therapy is another thing I just started, and that might help you a lot.
Explain that. What's going on?
Okay, so they basically have you do homework.
Pass.
No, I know. But
I like work on myself, but not that hard.
They'll take a situation. So if you say like, I wonder if this is the last time I'm going to eat at the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Oh, how do you know that was the restaurant?
I don't know.
I think about that every time I order the Philadelphia cheesesteak egg rolls. This might be the last time I go down an escalator.
They're like, this is 5,000 calories for a bite.
We actually made this in a factory.
This one is from a factory. This one's legit.
This one's from the factory.
This one's half shoe. So you write that down, and then you are like, okay, what are the facts that support that? Not feelings, the facts.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe there's a chance you'll probably end up and eating there again? Yes.
And I feel like I do that. Really quickly mentally, like I do that. That's how I'm able to go through the day. Is because I do it really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm able to be like logically put it away.
Yes.
But I'm noticing, and one of the things I'm working on is I'm noticing that it's taking up a lot of space.
Yeah.
And then you're going to the Cheesecake Factory twice a day now because you're like, how many times do I really have?
Well, I got this.
And keep shortening your life.
I got it. My wife got me this gift certificate, and it expires in like 6 months.
$25,000.
Yeah.
Well, the way you might be able to help that then is like noticing what is actually the fact, and then making it a hardcore feeling, like being like, oh, okay, so right now I feel sad because like I felt like this is the last time I'm going to eat at this restaurant, and it's probably not. Like, and the reality shows I will probably end up at Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then you can like push it aside, like you're doing.
Yeah.
But at least there's like, okay, here's the thing I go to every time it happens, and then it'll start happening. Hopefully less.
I think that's probably a really beneficial thing because. What I've started to like try to take stock of on my own, and you never want to be like doing this work on your own, but like I'm trying to take stock of like what causes like when am I predisposed to these feelings the most, and usually they're after positive things. So I feel like what's going on is that I'm a little bit like beaten up from just life, from being, you know, and so you know that there's a, like, every silver lining has a cloud. And
so you like make your own shoe drop.
Exactly. You're like waiting for it with everything. And then you're like, you know what?
But you're like controlling it, like you're making your shoe drop.
Yes.
So that it can be the shoe that dropped right after that positive
right.
thing.
Yeah. So that it's safe. It's like, you know, so.
How like, I mean, don't you have moments where you're like, oh, that's that's so like, it's not great that we're doing it, but like it's sweet. Like it comes from a place of being like, everything's too good. I just don't want something bad to happen, so I'll make the bad thing happen.
Yeah.
Like if you think of it as like a little kid doing it,
it's
really kind of like very sweet.
It is. I think it's sweet. I feel like it's like also shows that I do care about myself, you know, in a way in a way that a lot of people can't articulate.
Yeah.
But it is also the challenge of every day. You know, like I feel like, and when I hear people that don't go through that I'm often like, well, how are you not aware of the darkness and walking around in this, like, you know, yeah. But it's like, we're, like you said about driving, like, how is that thought not that thought not in your mind all the time?
How is everyone able to do this? And I can like, I've directed this movie. I've been on big movies, but that terrifies me.
Right.
And the thing I just keep coming back to is like, we all have different skills. There's people who could lift a car. I can't do that. That doesn't make me a bad person.
Right.
Like depression, anxiety is a disability. It's something you just have to live with every day. And the struggle is like, some days you'll be like, wow, I went months without thinking about death. And then all of a sudden it's like, 2 months of just, it's constantly in my head. And will I ever get out of this? And the only thing that I have in my head all the time is like, especially during this time, because it's been so hard, is like saying the only proof that I have that this will not continue is that I've had long chunks of my life where I have not had it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jillian, you're hitting on something. I call this zooming out. I have to like frequently zoom out and go, on a whole, the last 6 months of your life have been pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
You cannot be thinking like this too shall pass, whatever. You know, like I have to zoom out and go like, hey, look at your life. You get into these pockets of depression all the time and you get out of them.
Yes.
When you're in it, it feels like you can never be. And you're like, just remember 2 weeks ago, none of this was on your, and I have to like zoom out and look at my life on a timeline or like a graph. And then when I imagine it on a graph, I'm like, oh, this happens every August or every December.
Do you think that there's any, do you think that negative, I mean, it must be, I don't know, like the chemistry of the brain and the way it works, but there must be something to the idea that negative thoughts are like a negative is worth 10 positives. You know, because like...
Yeah, that's the weight we give them at least.
Right.
Well, just like if you get 10 positive reviews and one person's like, I didn't laugh. You're
exactly.
like, I
only
remember
that.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that probably is going, that equation is probably way deeper in everyday life.
Yes.
Where your good things probably happen to us every day.
Yes.
And
we're
just not even tuned in enough to notice because we're occupied by the one thing of the 24 hours and the 365 days that is like sticking in our craw.
And a way to help with that, this is something I'm working on with my therapist, is to remember to be grateful when things are good. Yeah. Even on the small scale.
Yeah.
And he even says sometimes when something bad happens, if I say to myself, thank you for this opportunity.
Right.
Like when because I used to make the analogy, it's like, I told my therapist, I'm like, you know, on some days, like if I like spill my coffee in the morning, that's like a day where I'm like, thank God I don't have a gun in the house. Because I just fucking be like, I can't believe I'm not cleaning this shit up.
You'd be like,
I just like blow my Yeehaw! But he was like, you can also take that moment to go, hey, thank you for this opportunity to clean up the coffee. This is just something that happened and it's over now. And it's like something I never thought. And then if you do that with the positives, when the negative comes around, but you've already 10 times today, like the barista smiled at me. That sandwich was fantastic. I got a great parking spot. You know, like you forget all of those the second someone goes like, sorry, you didn't get the job. And then you're like, I told you I'm a fat pig. And you're like, wait, who said that? You know, and all of a sudden you're like spiraling out of control and you're like, oh, 11 11 good things happened today.
Right.
Yeah, and
It's all a matter of
But
like where you
one
put the
bad
right.
thing happened, and that is the entire
I'm
day
just
now.
laser focused on it, microscope out. Like, let's analyze this forever. And
Yeah,
not like,
and let it be part of my personality.
Yeah.
And then you'll have like
this
a-
is who I am.
Who I
This
am is that one thing.
It's crazy to me because I would never think either of you have any problems with depression or anxiety. I don't know
Yeah.
what you have, but I think you mentioned depression.
I have obesity.
I have
Don't we all?
I have depression and extreme ADHD diagnosed as an adult, like off the charts extreme. Like if I'm not,
Can attest.
if I'm not, since I started taking medicine for it about like when we were doing the show, like 5 years ago, if I'm not on medication, like it's like gets wild.
So you found a medication that works really well. That's great.
Yeah. But then also have in therapy and a psychopharmacologist and, you know, all those things have to go along with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm that kind of fucked up. Where like I need, you know, I can't just like take a pill and like go on with my day.
And you should.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You should always talk to someone.
Well,
like,
I think you need to because
Yeah.
I you know, I need way more help than that. You know,
I mean, creative people, we're all so sensitive and aware of like it just
And on paper, my life is fucking
Right.
great.
Amazing.
But when I start analyzing it, all of a sudden I'm like, well, this is all your fault, Dumpy. And you're like,
I
who are
think
you
it's
talking about?
I think it's natural also for our age too. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Jillian's 25, and you and I.
I'm a hard 25.
you're a hard 25. Yeah, you've
I'm
lived
a
the life.
rough 24.
And I'm a road hard 34.
I'm not that hard and 43. I'm working on it.
You're a semi.
Give me another couple of minutes.
You're a
I'll be- I'll be-
I swear to God, this never
Where are those
happened.
busty babes?
Hold on,
Check
guys.
my For You page.
Change the music. I'm almost there.
Why is the music a thing?
I think there's menopause as well. Okay, just relax.
Oh no! Oh no!
But yeah,
Do you have the thing where you are like, oh, you were mentioning this of like, other people don't have this, like, where all the time, and everyone, all of us are in the best way. Cuckoo.
bananas.
Where every time I think part of the power of this podcast is we're just like having people who seem normal on and being like, actually, I'm dealing with a wild host
Here's
of
what's
shit.
going on right
Well,
now.
like Jillian Bell doesn't fucking drive, dude.
I mean, well, but like I think that again, like I think that those are scars with age that like truly, you know, you as you grow, these things become like, would you ever thought, oh, I won't drive anymore? You know, it's
No.
like, and then that is just something that,
And I'm like, there it is.
There it is, and it's okay.
There's Ubers. And
and you can live
there's
your life.
people that
There's also something very mature about like, this gives me crippling anxiety. It's like, pull it out of your life.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And you're like, holy shit, I can remove extreme triggers from my life.
Right,
And
right.
Turns out you don't have to be like, I absolutely hate doing this. Someone's like, well, why do you do it? You're like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Could I not?
It's like white knuckling through your whole life. And
It's
you're like,
crazy
I don't
to
need
just
do
remember
that.
sometimes that like you don't necessarily have to do this.
Well, and there's other people who will say like you did it wrong. You should have just kept going. And
Right.
part of me wishes I would have just because, but I was having a panic attack every time
why?
I
Then
drove.
why? Then
and
why?
I'm like, the thing I was scared about is like, it's not just me being like, oh, if every time I swim I have a panic attack. It's like, no, you could hit someone.
Right.
You could like,
right. And if that's enough for you,
Yeah.
then that's enough.
Yeah.
Like I would never.
I think as like a driver and you hear someone's like, I get a panic attack every time I drive and
Yeah.
no, I won't drive anymore. That's a net positive for
Yeah.
the
Oh,
yeah.
highways. You know what I mean? Like,
And my wife will not mind me saying this. She stopped driving.
she did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She
How
got
long?
She got in an accident.
Yeah.
With my son in the car about
honey.
3 years ago, and basically like turned in her license.
Yeah. She's like done.
everybody was fine.
Done.
Everybody was fine.
Everybody was fine, but it
Everyone
was enough
fine.
of like,
Yeah, well, I mean,
you get PTSD from that
it was
shit.
scary.
Yeah.
It was like a truck veered into her on the FDR drive, which is like so narrow.
Yes.
And she got sandwiched between the
guardrail
and the you know, like the water's right there, and Cole was in the back, and like I was in London shooting. It was just like really terrifying.
Terrifying.
And the car was totaled, and then it was like, and I didn't even put two and two together. It's like I came home from the shoot, we got a new car. I just realized like, wow, I'm really doing like pick up and drop off every day. Like, and then it's like, slowly I started to be like, wait a minute, are you not driving? And then it became like, I just really, it really can't.
And she's still not driving?
No.
Okay.
But is similar to you, like really on top of her mental stuff. Yeah. And is like.
And then what does she do if you're out of town? Like, does she?
We live in New York.
Oh, you live in New York. Oh, okay.
So like we take the train and
fantastic.
We live,
because that's my question, like about like having kids, and then I feel like I'm like I have to figure out how to be driving everywhere, and
it's amazing in New York. To have kids, like if you can afford it. Yeah. Which few people, like we barely can. You having the subway system and the bus system be so good. Yeah. Which I'm sure it won't be a couple more years of this. With like
we'll see. Well, once Cuomo gets in and starts Italianing everybody.
Actually, Cuomo will help get it right back on track.
Oh my gosh.
But like, you know, the government, like the federal government's not going to fund anything. So like, but the subway, the public transportation system for parents is amazing.
Great.
Yeah. And it totally, you can get, and then you Uber, you can get by.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you don't have to
book,
feel like you're the only
direct
one.
a Marvel movie and hire a full-time driver.
Oh God,
you got to be in the running.
They're just all calling me the Marvel movies, and I'm like, okay, I'll do Bug Lady.
Daredevil runs a marathon.
He's blind.
He has a helper.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Can he have a dog?
Yeah.
And can I read for the dog?
Are people like really knocking down your door now because you have this funny movie that debuted at South by? We
just got back. Like I've had a week off,
and the response was great.
The response was so good, which was so amazing because you know.
Tell us a little bit about how you got your first real 6-string and bought it at the 5
Yeah.
Played it till your fingers bled.
Well, I will say, like, hearing it with an audience was unbelievable because I've watched it with like 4 people at a time. So just getting there and being like, oh, they think it's funny. This is exciting. And they were there for like some of the twists and turns and on the roller coaster of it. So that was very exciting. But I did a movie. I did a small part in a movie called Murder Mystery 2, which was very funny because I got offered a different part. It was like, oh, you're going to end up cutting that. Can I pitch a different thing?
Oh,
and they did. They did end up cutting it.
Sandman.
They're so great.
God, I love the Sandman.
I pitched this stupid idea because there was a big shootout in the Eiffel Tower, and it's like high tension. Everyone's guns are at each other, and then I said, what if the elevator opens and it's just me in a pea coat with a red rose, being like, George and I said if we weren't married after 10 years, we would meet here at this moment, you know, and then it's like, Doc, and like.
That's so funny.
And so they went with it, which was really nice. And the director is Jeremy Gerlich. And
love Gerlich.
I love Gerlich. And he owns American High, which like bought a high school in Syracuse, and their production company is in there, and they shoot everything in Syracuse. And he had this script, and my agent was like really pushing for me to direct. And they were like, okay. So they sent it to me. It was really fun, but there was a lot in there that I was like, oh, I really want to make this kind of a coming of age story about 2 different aged women, young women. And so the movie is about a sexually inexperienced teenager who hires a stripper to land the guy of her dreams. She overhears what the guy of her dreams is like favorite sexual position is and tries to go from 0 to 69 in a week. And it's really fun. It has like a sort of 80s feel to it. Because
I love it already.
We used to love like big broad ideas, but then we're like grounded with heart. Yeah. So that's kind of the.
Oh, that's awesome.
I grew up loving like John Hughes films,
of
so
course.
that was sort of my.
Well, I mean, comedy. I think it's going to be a big hit, and I hope it is because like. I love movies like this.
Yeah,
I want.
It's all I want to make. It's all I want to watch. It's like
honestly, it makes me so happy watching this dang movie because
that's great.
It's so like Chloe Fineman is in it and she kills it.
Oh,
she's so funny,
funny,
and she's also like, I felt like when she was, they do this a lot at SNL where it's like people will go out and start doing movies, but it's a lot of like characters with accents and crazy, wigs and all the things, and I'm like. Yeah, but she's probably like a great actor, and then we got her in this, and she's like, gets to have fun and plays around. But honestly, she's got a great arc in it. And I just can't wait to see what she does next. Because I think
I mean,
she's in Megalopolis, right?
Yeah,
she's
she is.
so good in that. And
Really?
yeah, and I was blown away. I mean, Aubrey is a lot of people are really good in this fucking crazy ass movie.
Yeah.
But I was just like, wait, that's the lady Chloe from SNL. She's fucking she's very funny in this movie that's like Sky Captain.
yeah. I mean, I love it. Paul Pell is like the funniest.
Paula Pell. We have Charlie Day.
Love
Our
Charlie.
girl Byer is over there.
Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole Byer.
So good.
Oh my God, she's so good. And Liza Koshy. We just
I
have
feel
great
like
people in it.
you're gonna get offers. Like, I feel like Gabrus was not kidding. Like Marvel. That's the trajectory. That's what happens.
Yeah,
Like,
they'll just take you to Budapest for 15 months and like blow your career, but you'll make
They're like, why is she sitting in the sun for a half an hour
every
during
day.
lunch?
Yeah.
No, it's honestly so funny because like it is my happy place now.
She
Like,
rides her bike 11 miles to set.
Do you self-medicate at all?
self-medicate.
Drink.
Oh,
smoke.
no, I don't.
Sober.
I drink water.
I saw that.
Everyone makes fun of me for my Starbucks order.
Well,
What is your Starbucks order?
A venti ice water, and then maybe some kind of a croissant or something.
Do you pay? So
A venti
you
ice
pay for
water
the
is-
croissant so you can get the water?
Yeah.
That's like how I go to the bathroom in there. I'm like, I'll have a croissant, and I run, take a shit of life in there.
Dude,
You're like, must have been that croissant.
Yeah. I think there's
Not my-
diuretics in here. I'm going to write a letter. Bye. No one go in there.
the amount of times I've been to in a New York City bar during the daytime, and I'm like, oh, I'll have, I'll take a Heineken. And they're like, okay, great. And I run into the bathroom, take a huge shit, come out, I go, how much was this? Pay for it, chug the beer, and leave.
Walk off with my
I'd be
day.
like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like blows up behind me like
You're
that.
like, what happened?
You walk away from it like,
Ordering a drink and continuing to go to the bathroom. The bartender
They're like,
was
we know
whatever. You
exactly what's happening.
I overtip so no one ever fucking tells a story about it.
when did you said your agent was trying to get you to direct, but like, there must have been a moment
Yeah.
in your career, because you've been in so many funny movies, like where you're like, I think I should do this.
I've always wanted to do it, but it's daunting. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, how do you know if you're ready?
Yeah.
And I didn't go to
It's
AFI.
like going from like I
didn't-
like driving to like maybe I'll learn how to build a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Slightly different skill set.
And you're
yeah.
you're around the car a lot when you're on set. Like you're like, I don't know if I know where all the little gadgets go,
Yeah.
but yeah, there was one other script that I thought like, okay, this is going to be the first one I direct. And you know how it is. You try everything and then it's like, not right now. And then this one comes. And I was like, my first film is going to be about 69ing. And then I was like, yeah, it is. It's going to be about that and then female friendship. And I was like, oh, I can fuck
I
with
know
that.
both those things.
I know
Yeah.
both those things well.
Maybe
one
the
more than the
69ing
other.
was female friendship after all.
I know them from up and down, left and right, both sides.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
As a matter of fact, my search terms are female friendship and 69.
Did you have to do? This is just again like, I apologize for being a cis male, but
No, never apologize for that.
Chloe plays a stripper.
Yeah.
Did you like? Because that's like a big wellness thing now. Did you like go to classes? Did she like?
She went to classes. She met this amazing woman who was training her and then came out and was going to be or was her body double for some of the more intricate moves. But then honestly, Chloe did so well that the majority of the dance is her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's hard.
And
really hard.
Byer is like a big pole dancer.
Yeah,
as
Nicole-
well.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
and
she's-
there's some moves in there too from her.
Yeah.
We had to. I was like, we have these people that can do amazing things. We're going to, and half of the women that are in the scenes are the people that actually, we worked at a club called Diamond Dolls and we were like, that's what the strip club's going to be called because we loved it so much and we wanted to give them a shout out. But the rest of the women that are in the scenes work there and they are their own family and community. And like, we'll be like, what do you want me to do now? And then like go upside down and clap their heels. And I'm like, this is the coolest.
It's wild.
It's such a cool sport.
Yeah, it's like Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
unbelievable.
athletic.
We're the only comedians to have their portraits up in Magic City, Atlanta.
Really?
Yes, we performed on that stage.
Oh my gosh.
No, but it's I only ask because I know how hard it like.
Yeah.
The fact that hobby, that interest could also be an exercise class
Yeah.
makes me think that to do it, you must be insane.
You have to have such of a body strength.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that.
I can't. I've like in life just like grabbed a pole and leaned back.
Yeah.
And been like you know, no less like inverted, holding by my heels. And
I can't
like
do a
higher
pull-up.
cross. Yeah,
I
I can't do a pull up. And these women can like pull themselves up by heels.
I know,
Yeah,
it's wild.
fucking
It's
crazy.
insane. Like they're holding on with just like the inner part of their thigh and then letting go, and you're like,
Squeak.
how?
Oh, when they do
Yeah.
that move where they go upside down and they put their hand back, but
Yes.
this is clipped onto
Yep.
the pole. That it defies gravity.
I'm like, how?
That's my defying gravity.
Yeah.
That's
I'd like to see. I'd like to see. Jillian, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my
You're the
gosh,
best.
it was so
So
much
fun
fun.
and funny and
Yeah.
I
love
hope
you.
people laughed and had real moments, but more laughs than real moments.
And by the time this comes out, maybe the movie is somewhere, and we'll have links to it in the show notes. And
the movie is coming out May 9th. And it's going to be on Hulu, 5-9 for 6-9. That's the way to remember it.
5'9" for 6'9".
Yeah.
hell yeah,
I like
hell yeah.
that. I like that. I
That's
will
not a
remember
height
this.
request for your 69ing partner.
No.
Yo.
Because I want
5'9" feels-
6'2" for 6'9".
Yeah, I was gonna say 5'9".
So our
feels-
Jennies line up a little better as a tall guy. I can't, you know. I
Our
can't.
Jennies. I've never heard genitals called Jennies.
That's how they name the ice cream shop.
You too. That moment at the end. That was cute as a button. I want it on a t-shirt. Jenny's. Sponsored by Jenny's. Try the
Promo
Bramble
code
Berry
Staying
Crisp.
Alive. Jennies with a G are your genitals, and Jennies with
Our
a
new
G.
cream flavor. Thanks, Jillian.
I love you both. Thanks for having me.
Jillian Bell is so good.
Absolutely hilarious person who's wildly forthcoming about what they're going through in life.
She also, the first time I ever saw her it was so funny. I had just moved to LA and they were trying to get the UCB LA like up and running, and they were starting mod teams, and they didn't have enough faculty out here to watch auditions because it was just like Seth Morris was out here and that was it, and Neil Campbell. And so they asked me and a couple people who had just moved to come and like watch auditions. And she was the first audition, and she did Drew Barrymore that made me cry because it
so
was
funny.
sad. You know, and it was like one of those where you're like, I can't believe I'm laughing at this. And I feel like she really is the perfect comedic actress.
I mean, I, of course, like probably most of America, found her through Workaholics, and she was just so fucking good on every single episode of that show. It was so awesome.
She's like maybe one of my favorite people to watch, which is amazing to hear that she has anxiety over doing it.
I
You know,
know.
because you're just like, everything you say is funny. How does that?
Yeah, and that's so true for so many people. Like,
I know.
your favorite comedians are going through so much crazy shit.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Jillian. Check out her film, Summer of '69.
Yeah.
You know, get your first real 6-string. Bought it at the 5. That song is like burned into my head. I fucking love
We're
that.
thinking about different things when we hear the title of the movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Bryan Adams. Well, to be fair, I'm thinking about Bryan Adams having our dicks in each other's mouths. So far, so good.
Yeah.
That's the name of the album.
Yeah, I quit.
I'm sorry I got too real on stuff, but I also think
You
it's
did
good
not. That's no apologies.
we-
for
to
that.
we-
That's
maybe
what we
say
want.
in case somebody's listening. I
We're
don't
trying.
know.
We're trying to walk the line between very real and doing dumb bits.
Yeah.
Like so.
Great.
Like
We
you're
did
the
it,
ultimate
right?
guest for that.
Okay.
Yeah.